Welcome to my channel, Brain Boosters. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. The 10 best animated sci-fi shows of all time, ranked. Number 10. Scavengers Reign 2023. Created by Joseph Bennett and Charles Hootner. One of the most underrated sci-fi TV shows of recent years, Max's Scavengers Reign was tragically canceled after just one short-lived season, and fans still haven't recovered. It's a sci-fi epic following the crew of a damaged deep space freighter after they get stranded on a beautiful but dangerous planet. With great voice performances and some of the most stunning visuals of any animated show of the 2020s, it's a gem that viewers are pleading to see resurrected. What really makes Scavengers Reign stand out is just how mature and creative it is. Not often do adult animated shows go as above and beyond to tell a complex, riveting story as this one. With a gripping narrative, endearing characters, and lots of thematic nuances, it's one of Max's greatest original shows, animated or otherwise. Number 9. Neon Genesis Evangelion 1995-1996. Created by Hideaki Anno. One of the most legendary and iconic anime series in history, Neon Genesis Evangelion reigns supreme among mecha TV shows. It's a dystopian sci-fi epic where a teenage boy finds himself recruited as a member of an elite team of pilots by his father. Dealing with complex themes of identity, philosophy, religion, and psychology, it's one of the most nuanced shows of the 90s. For decades, Evangelion has been praised for how beautifully artful and profound it is. There's plenty of show-stopping action for those craving huge set pieces, but also very meaningful story and character developments for viewers craving more thoughtful storytelling. These are all things that have led this to be considered one of the best animated series for adults, and that's not likely to change anytime soon. Number 8. Invincible. Invincible 2021. Created by Robert Kirkman. Particularly in recent years, with the boom of the superhero genre at the start of the 21st century, superhero television is at the highest point it's ever been. This is proved by series like Invincible, based on the Image Comics comic book series of the same name. It's an adult series about the son of Earth's most powerful superhero as he tries to become something greater than himself. Invincible has some enjoyably brutal action, gripping character arcs, and the tour de force voice performances of actors like Steven Yeun and J.K. Simmons, making it one of the best animated shows based on comic books. As hilarious as it is touching and as deep as it is irreverent, it has the perfect balance between comedy, family drama, and blood-filled, bone-breaking action. Number 7. Cowboy Bebop 1998-1999. Created by Hajime Yatate, the iconic Cowboy Bebop, constantly imitated but never matched, is about the futuristic adventures and misadventures of an easygoing bounty hunter and his partners, a ragtag crew if this cyberpunk universe ever did see one. It's one of the best sci-fi anime shows of all time, thanks to its effortlessly cool atmosphere and countless badass action sequences. Throughout only one season with 26 episodes, Cowboy Bebop has become as iconic and legendary as sci-fi shows that have been on the air for a solid few decades. Perfectly written, it's full of thrilling storylines populated by deeply compelling characters, which is greatly complemented by the show's terrific action and hilarious sense of humor. Number 6. Rick and Morty 2013. Created by Dan Harmon and Justin Roiland. Like all sitcoms that have been running for as long as it has, Rick and Morty has obviously had its fair share of ups and downs. But it's still one of the smartest, funniest, most entertaining sci-fi shows currently on television, and it's hard to deny that. It follows the adventures of a nihilistic mad scientist and his anxious grandson, who get into all sorts of life-threatening situations with their dysfunctional family. Rick and Morty themselves are one of the most iconic duos in all of animation, and every other character in the show is just as entertaining. But what sets Rick and Morty apart is the level of thought that goes into almost each episode, delivering some of the most complex characters, most intelligent stories, and cleverest humor that any animated sitcom has ever seen, full of meta commentary and genuinely. Number 5. Fullmetal Alchemist, Brotherhood 2009-2010. Created by Hiromu Arakawa, shonen anime is mainly aimed at teenage boys, and in that field, there are very few shows as outstanding as Fullmetal Alchemist, Brotherhood. It follows two brothers searching for a philosopher's stone after an attempt to revive their deceased mother goes wrong, leaving them in damaged physical forms. A remake of the 2003 original show, this time sticking closer to the manga. It's as good an adaptation as fans could have possibly expected. Exhilarating storylines, it's a goldmine of fun episodes that's not likely to slow down anytime soon. Even for those who aren't at all familiar with the manga or the original show, Brotherhood is a perfect introduction to this fascinating world and narrative. It may take a few episodes to really get going, but once it does, it never lets up. Everything from the fantasy and sci-fi elements to the rich character development, to the intricate world building, to the striking animation is as perfect as anyone could expect. Number 4. Dragon Ball Z 1989-1996. Created by Akira Toriyama. Perhaps the most iconic anime series of all time, typically considered one of the closest to perfection. Dragon Ball Z is the exceptional sequel to 1986's Dragon Ball, and an adaptation of the latter chapters of the manga by the show's creator, Akira Toriyama. It's about a team of fighters led by the Saiyan warrior Goku, who must protect the planet from an onslaught of new extraterrestrial enemies. Packed with exhilarating action and some of the most fun and compelling characters the medium has ever seen, Dragon Ball Z may not be the most intellectually demanding show, but it never pretends to be. It's happy to be pure joyful entertainment, with some incredible animation considering the time period and plotlines that are never unengaging. Even setting aside the nostalgia produced by the show's high status in the pantheon of pop culture, it's a terrific sci-fi animation in its own right. Number 3. Futurama 1999. Created by Matt Groening. King among sci-fi sitcoms, there's a good reason why Futurama has been running for far longer than others. It's about Philip J. Fry, a pizza delivery boy who was accidentally frozen in 1999 and thawed out on New Year's Eve of 2999. Teaming up with a group of friends, he travels the galaxy on countless adventures. Hilarious, entertaining, and often surprisingly emotional, it's pure sci-fi fun. Futurama is one of the best sci-fi comedy TV shows ever, thanks to its timeless animation, terrific voice performances, and characters who never stop being entertaining. The writing team is so incredibly creative that, throughout 12 seasons, they've never run out of fresh, funny ideas to put to the test with fans. There's a uniqueness to how it explores its deeply special worlds and the stories that lie in them, and it's precisely that uniqueness that has allowed it to remain as popular as it is for as long as it has. Night, and it's likely to remain that way for a long time. Number 2. Batman, the animated series 1999-1995, created by Tom Ruegger. When the topic of superhero television and shows based on comic books comes up, there's always a golden standard that's never absent from the conversation: Batman, the animated series. It follows the crime-fighting shenanigans of the Caped Crusader voiced by Kevin Conroy, who may just have been the definitive incarnation of the character, placing him alongside allies like Robin and Commissioner Gordon, and against villains like the Joker, the Penguin, and Mr. Freeze. It's hard to quantify the many reasons why Batman isn't just atop its genre, but is also usually counted among the greatest animated TV shows ever. It redefined the Batman mythos for a new generation, bringing some of the most interesting adaptations of certain stories and characters that fans had been waiting to see on screen for years. In many ways, this is the definitive adaptation of The Dark Knight, and it's likely to remain that way for a long time. Number 1. Arcane 2021. Created by Christian Link and Alex Yee. Back when it was announced that Netflix would be making a show based on the world and characters of the hyper-popular MOBA video game League of Legends, perhaps no one expected it to become as huge and massively acclaimed as Arcane turned out to be. It's an action epic set in the utopian realm of Piltover, atop the oppressed underground of Zon. The story follows two sisters and the powers that tragically tear them apart, regardless of their level of familiarity with the source material. Complex and riveting characters, a thematically rich story full of gripping moments and shocking twists, some tremendously powerful action scenes, and some of the best animation that the medium has ever seen are only a few factors. As entertaining as it is poignant and as creative as it is exciting, it's arguably the greatest sci-fi animated TV series of all time. There's something in Arcane that makes it a must-watch for absolutely every adult with a Netflix account. Thank you for watching.